2021 is the year of buying a new home. Obviously, overseas travel is off the cards at the moment and people have gone, do you know what? I'm going to upgrade my house. I'm going to buy a new house. I'm going to buy an investment property.
And it's a lot harder than you may think. So Mark, from Bertie Lewis Home Loans, you are here to guide us because I've been in this process for the last couple of months and it sucks.
It's actually really hard to get a home loan right now.
Yeah, look, it has been. Yeah, the banks have been really forensic with their analysis of applicants, and it has been harder to get a loan than perhaps what it has been in the past.
When you say forensic, what do you mean?
Oh, things like analysing bank statements. I mean, you know, with applicants now having to send in or give us 3 to 6 months of transaction accounts of every account they've got, and then we have to do a line-by-line analysis of their living expenses and stuff. So, you know, it does take time, and you know, applicants are finding it a lot more difficult.
And that can be really hard when you're like maybe like Hayley and I, and we like to hide all our purchases from our husband.
Yeah, there's no hiding anything.
Now, what's this? I don't know. It must be Hayley. Must have gone to him, not me.
If you say you can see that we're spending a lot of money on clothes, will that hinder us in getting a home loan?
It can, yeah. It can, because what it shows is that your living expenses are higher than what a baseline level that the bank sort of is their starting point.
And you've also spoken about Afterpay, and that can be quite bad for getting a home loan.
Afterpay can be bad, and certainly whether it's Afterpay or sports betting and that sort of thing, any of those kind of online bettings or any of the buy now, pay later, they can really hinder an application. And it's sort of from a credit assessment point of view, the lenders are sitting there starting with no in their mind, starting with I'm going to decline this loan. So it's about then finding ways to get it approved. So we tell our clients, just stop using Afterpay for 3 months and stop using sports bet and stuff like that.
Everyone pushes Afterpay.
But also because it looks like, this sounds so, I know you're going to think I'm an idiot for saying this, but you see that and you're like, I really want that dress, but I can't, you know, it's expensive, but I'll feel better about myself if I just do Afterpay and I don't pay it now. It's like free money.
it kind of, and that's what people think. People think Afterpay and those kind of things, whether it's Zip Pay, Afterpay, they think they're harmless, but what it's showing to the lender is that you're not that great at managing your finances. Yeah. Because if you have to put something on terms, it's like if you have a credit card and you don't pay it off in full each month. It's the same sort of thing. The lenders are already starting with a bit of a negative attitude as to your ability to properly manage your money.
What about, so a lot of people may have lost their jobs last year, or they started, you know, they thought I'm going to change careers. What are the rules? Like, how long do you have to be in a job before you can go for a home loan?
Yeah, it just depends. If you're changing jobs, as long as you're staying in the same industry and the same profession, then that's usually not a problem. So as long as you're not on probation, then it's not a problem. But if you're changing professions, then we're probably going to have to look at 6 to 12 months in the new job before we can get a loan approved. That's not to say we can't, but you might be paying higher interest rates if you're
changing careers. So if someone is looking for a house right now in this crazy market, which I have been trying to for the last couple of months.
Oh, she sends me like $5 million houses every week, all on Victoria Avenue.
I'm like, Haley, what about this house? She's like, it's probably $5 million too much, but go to the auction and see what happens. And at the moment, it'll go for 7. So for someone who is looking for a house, do you have like a couple of tips or a couple of points just to kind of help them? Of course, we want them to come to you and meet you and see you because you're very fun for someone who does home loans. You're very fun.
Pretty boring industry, I know, but probably the biggest tip I can give people is to have your finance approved before you actually go out looking for a home. In the current market, houses are moving so quickly, they're selling so quickly, and if you're going to a real estate agent and saying, I want to put an offer in but I'm subject to finance, the real estate agents at the moment, the market's moving so quickly, they're just going to give you the short shift.
Sorry.
They really are. And because there's so many people out there who are what they call a cash contract, so they don't have subject to finance clauses, they don't have, even building inspections. Like, agents are balking at those now. So you really
but
need
that's
to
so
have
important to get a building inspection.
Well, it is, and we tell people that, but unfortunately that's something that you kind of, maybe you have to be your own building inspector these days, but properties are moving so quickly, and we sold our place recently, 5 days. And we just were blown away. We had multiple offers within 5 days, and it's just like,
because everyone wants to live in your house because you're famous.
It was a nothing special house, but But that's just the way it is at the moment.
Yeah.
So the biggest tip is to have your finance pre-approved. So come to someone like us, we'll sit down with you, work out how much you can borrow, how much your deposit is, what the repayments are, make sure it's all affordable, tell you how much you can spend. So if you're going to an auction or if you're putting an offer in, you're not going to be overcommitting. You're not going to be setting yourself up to fail.
Which is also somewhere where I'm sitting as well. Like I'm like, can we just push it? Can we just push it? But you don't want to be like that.
No.
And you get it. He's a dad of 5 children. So you're a family man. You're one of the people. So you get it. And that's what's really nice about coming to you to get a home loan.
It is tough, and you just got to make sure that you're managing your money. Make sure that you keep everything affordable. There is that temptation to push that little bit further, but you've got to remember we're in the lowest interest rate environment in history. So eventually interest rates are going to go up. So here you are, it might be affordable at the moment, but we need to think about what are the repayments going to be if interest rates go up by 2% or 3%.
And then
or
you can't
4%.
pay them off. Okay.
And the repayments go up, and your wages haven't necessarily gone up in line with that. So you might be comfortable now, but in 2 or 3 years' time, if interest rates go up, you might not be comfortable.
You're very
So
clever.
We don't want to set people up to fail.
No.
And that's the big thing.
Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us. Can we cheers?
Cheers.
You're
Cheers.
such a nice. You can see our coffee cups are done.
I've still got coffee in mine. Sucks to be you guys.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Pleasure.